Alright, now I'm just responding to this video saying PS3 fanboys are retarded. I do agree with you in the fact that they're retarded, but a lot of the things you said in the video were a little, extreme to the, like, saying that everything sucks with it, and that it never really got started, and I think it's alright. I have one. I mean, there's a couple problems with it, The one thing that sticks out between the 360 and that is just the console itself is a little bit better. The 360 is really loud. The PS3 runs a little smoother, and you don't have to pay for the online, and the online's all dedicated servers instead of all peer-to-peer, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass for PS3. I mean for Xbox Live, and you have to pay for peer-to-peer. It's like, why are we paying for peer-to-peer when we can get dedicated servers for free that connect like instantly? Like, I was playing Call of Duty at a friend's house. I connected in a couple seconds, and then on 360, it's like almost even like a minute to connect to a game, and that's because they're dedicated servers. Another thing is, saying the PS3 is finished is a little far-fetched because, of these fanboys that just would buy into this. There's so many of them, I mean, I buy into it because I'm a fan of Metal Gear Solid. That's why I bought one, and I use mine for backwards. I mean, I'm not a fanboy of any kind. I just like Sony. I mean, I don't have a 360 because that's just something that doesn't appeal to me. I mean, of course they're good games, but it's not something worth the money. Well, I mean, some of the games coming out, I'm gonna eventually buy one, but just at the time, there's nothing there for me. Now there is, Star Ocean coming out and whatnot. But another thing you said is that PlayStation Home is retarded, which I kind of agree with you on. It really isn't anything special, but people still use it. People like that kind of thing. I mean, whatever. But I think in 2008, as people said, 2008's the year and whatever. In 2008, PS3 did a lot of catch up. It was basically getting that back in the game, and I mean, I think they did alright with it. Not the best they could have done, just because they delay the games up the ass and whatever. But yeah, and they said Killzone 2 is gonna suck. I mean, I don't know if you can say that. I haven't played any demo for it yet. My friend played it. He said it was like miles better than Killzone 1, and that it competes with a lot of the 360 games. And another thing that the PS3 has going for it is the fact that, I mean, this isn't really going for it, but they have a familiar controller. I mean, this isn't really a big deal, but it was for me. Because I just been using DualShocks since NAM, and I'm not gonna just go to some controller that has a shitty D-pad, and and the D-pad's like the most important thing for me, because I always use the D-pad almost all the time instead of the thumbsticks. That's just my preference if it was an option. Yeah, I mean, the 360 does have its games going for it, but the hardware blows. Like, I know people that gone through three different 360s. Now, I've had a PS3 for more than a half year. I haven't had a single freeze in it. Not one time did it freeze, which is amazing, because almost all these consoles that I've had, all of them froze within 3 months of me having them. And this I've had for 6 months and not a single freeze. So yeah, and I mean, there's much more you can do with the PS3. Like, the Xbox 360 hard drive, you have to get a certain one specially made for 360. You can just get any SATA2 laptop hard drive and just pop it in the PS3. And the headset for Xbox Live, that thing blows. That's like the bar none worst thing ever. You can't even use it on anything else. Well, PS3, you don't have to use like the Sony Bluetooth headset. You can use any USB headset. I used to use a USB Logitech headset, or you can use any Bluetooth headset, And then I'm not sure about webcams. I'll try my webcam on there to see if that can work. But the PlayStation Now, that also has PC support, and I know the Xbox Vision camera does, but that doesn't have a microphone. and the mic, and that's basically useless on. I mean, it's useful on the PC, but it doesn't have any audio, so you're gonna need to buy another microphone if you want audio anyway. So I'm saying is, I mean, I'm not trying to bash the 360. It's a good console. I mean, it's got the good games, and that's really all you need to make a good console. And I just don't have one because they weren't of my interests yet. And I mean, I know that they're good games for what they are. They're just not for me. Which, I mean, I think it's cool if you want to play those games. I mean, I'm not a fanboy. I mean, if anything, I'd be a Nintendo fanboy because I always bought the Nintendo console on the launch day. I just didn't do it this year because I wasn't ready to buy into the next generation yet. But, whatever, man. I think that fanboys are freaking retarded too because, and a lot of the things that you said about them, why I didn't like them, is why I don't like PS3s, because there's all these promises being made and they're not being delivered on time. And well, the one thing that bothered me is, I was always curious of how PlayStation Home would be, and that took forever. And, so did Metal Gear. And you said that game has 7 hours of cutscenes. Yeah, it does. But, well, it doesn't have enough. I'd say it's the worst in the series just because of the fact that it doesn't have enough gameplay. But that 7 hours is, good enough. But anyway, like, a lot of these games have 7 hours of gameplay anyway. I mean, yeah, 7 hours of just like regular gameplay. That's, and Metal Gear, like, it has like around, it balances 7 hours of both, and the cutscenes are freaking awesome. But I mean, you're not gonna want to watch them if you're not a fan of the series, and it was awesome as a fan of the series. I'll tell you that. If you played Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. It's definitely worth playing, but it's just a real crapshoot now that, like, whether you like it or not, having not played it, and it's not worth getting the PS3 for. If you played them and you liked them, then it's worth getting the PS3. But yeah, Final Fantasy 12, that's on 360 now, even though it's gonna be on like a couple discs, whatever. But I mean, I'm just trying to say that. A lot of the things you said were a little outlandish. And yeah, have a nice day.